Welcome to Judge Me Not, a safe place to have real conversations with real ass people. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Judge Me Not podcast. I am your pretty cool host, EnviiDee. Least I think so myself. Y'all know, same intro, different week. Come on in, come on in, come on in. You know, I did something and I am reaping the consequences of it. And I knew not to do it, but I did it anyways, going against my better judgment. You ever did something and you get the reaction or the response or the outcome that you thought was going to happen, but before you made a choice, you didn't know how you knew, but you already knew what you should have done. And you go against it, and when it goes the way that you thought it was going to go, you be like, God dang. I said this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. I mean, people call it different things. You know, if you religious, it's the Holy Spirit. Gut feeling, intuitions, women intuition, listening to your heart, going with your first mind, that gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, intuition. Like, have you ever went against your own better judgment or intuition and end up being fucked? Well, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. And I literally spoke exactly what happened. But again, you do have to be careful about what you say so it won't come to pass because the tongue is a very powerful thing, but that's not what we here for this episode. But anyways, so my problem is I am a giving person. I know all too well what it feels like to need and just not have someone that you can rely on. So if someone reaches out to me and I feel like it's a genuine need, I'm going to figure out how to help. And that has gotten me in some frustrating situations, right? And including this one. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this for you, and you gonna fuck me. I know you gonna make me regret doing this for you. Sure enough, the person did not follow through, and everything that I said was gonna happen happened. But when you are in such a good place, and where like I'm in a good place in life, I'm moving intentional. I'm moving with purpose. That I know not to go against my intuition. I know not to go against my gut feeling. I did it anyways, and I got the outcome of going against the grain. So I wasn't even mad about it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, I was pissed off. I was mad in the bitch. Let me stop. But I couldn't harbor on it because I had to take accountability of myself for going against my gut feeling. Baby, let me tell you, I used to work in a nursing home for years when my kids were young. And there was this old black lady, and she was like, God gave women, a power, and it's called your women's intuition. If you ever have a women's intuition, you go with it, regardless of how someone makes you feel crazy. You don't have to explain yourself. If your heart is telling you to do something, or your mind is telling you to do something, you have to trust yourself. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes, I be thinking I'm crazy, and especially at that point, it was in a relationship. And she was like, well, walk out on your intuition. And if your intuition always prove you right, then baby, start trusting in yourself. And once I started paying attention with self and learning myself and being confident in my women's intuition, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing, especially if I'm in a relationship. Oh, baby. If that women intuition click in, and I'm not even talking about no, I just don't want to be wrong because I'm an adult. If I'm wrong now, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. Now, if you dated me when I was in my hot girl, young toxic stage, then that's your fault. I mean, I just Yeah, that's a whole different beast. But I know how to take accountability if I'm wrong. I'm talking about real deal, butterflies, drop of the stomach, increase pulse, sweating, anxious out of nowhere, and you just know. Like the knowledge just comes. I used to drown that out. And believe it or not, people link up with me and I have this big personality, whatever, whatever. When I'm in love with the man, because I am Southern and I was raised very country, very old fashioned, I am very submissive. And I've allowed the wrong men in my past to have the authority to lead me. And it just hurt my own feelings and my own mental health and all that. So I would ignore my intuition. Baby, let me tell you, I don't care what nobody say. The intuition is a direct tap in from the universe, from God. It is like a direct antenna. Baby, it's like a pager. It don't go off all the time. But when that bitch do go off, you need to pay attention. You need to go to the payphone, you need to dial it, you need to tune in. What's up? Because I got in the habit of ignoring my intuition and then later on finding out some facts that was ultimately going to hurt me. But I already knew. My emotions had already told me. The universe had already tried to warn me. God had already let me know this ain't the nigga for you. This is not who I chose for you. But I learned to be comfortable in ignoring it because I'm crazy. How do I know? I ain't got no evidence. It is what it is. He loved me. Baby, please, after a while getting my heart broke and spit on and cut up and diced up like a motherfucking hibachi grill, baby, hey, wait a minute. Now I'm feeling anxious. What you got going on? Let me know because I don't mind being by myself. Now my spirit is telling me you doing something that I'm going to find out and it is going to piss me off. Now you can call me crazy all you want, but this is how we can solve. Straight up. And I've been doing really, really, really good at being intuitive and mindful of my intuition. I do not go against my gut feeling anymore. When it comes to a job, when it comes to my children, when it comes to people, like I go with my gut feeling on everything. And so far, it has not led me in the wrong direction. It hasn't. Now, if you delusional and you know you lie, and you even to the point that you lie to yourself, I think we not gonna go. I wouldn't suggest that you try to tap into any intuition until you just be completely clear with yourself that you are a lie. Because some people will make up some shit and just don't want to be wrong and swear God came himself and typed it and texted in their phone. Like you just got to be cautious of some people. You know what I'm saying? But for myself personally, and for the average sane person that is on the path of self growth and self awareness, baby, that intuition gonna get you right all the time. All the time. You ever be around somebody and they ain't did a motherfucking thing to you. You might not even know their name, nothing about them, but they just don't sit right with you. Like it's just something about them, baby. That's intuition. That is your energy trying to protect you before something even happens, right? So there's this quote that I found by this guy named Jiddu K. And it says, intuition is the whisper of the soul. 110% agree with that. And that's why it's so important to learn thyself and to be real with yourself. If you can't be real with nobody else, you have to learn to be real with yourself. That's what Mike said. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Baby, you got to get in front of that mirror and talk to yourself and be like, self, we got to figure this out, baby, because you is the problem. The more you know yourself, the more you'll feel confident in going with your choices. You'll feel confident in your logic. You will feel confident in your reasoning. You will be happy with listening to your gut feeling, and it will positively have a good impact on your life. So the more that you move on through life, can't nobody come against you and yourself. Can't nobody come against you in your first mind. I don't know about y'all, but I can remember being like, I was raised by my grandparents. I can remember being ready so many nights. I mean, like makeup on, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go. And my grandmother would be like, well, go with your first mind. If you say you don't want to go, then hey, it ain't even that serious. And sometimes she would force me not to go if I said I don't feel like going and continue to get dressed. And I would be so mad. But as I've gotten older and I'm on my own, I find myself getting ready. I have been, baby, if you know me in real life, I will pull up on you, text you on my side. Baby, if something poke me in my spirit and say, we not feeling this tonight. I will get back on that highway. I will pay extra for the tollway to bring my tail back on it home. Take a few pictures to make it seem like I went out, but I really didn't. And take that makeup off and get right back on up in my bed. Majority of the pictures that I post, that's what really didn't happen. I never made it to the club. If you go look on my social media, all my pictures is in my house or maybe a gas station. I never be really making it up inside the club like that or to the event. I don't know. But I feel like it has saved me from making irrational choices because I know who I am and I know how I get when I'm under the influence. I know how I get when I'm in a familiar environment that um, triggers bad habits. I know me, baby. I know I can see one in particular motherfucking person, and all my change gonna go out the window for this man. You know what I'm saying? Like I know who I am. So if my body say no, never mind. This is not where we need to be. This is not what we need to do. I'm gonna go lay back down. And there's been some occasions that I get on the news and I'm like, okay, bitch, that was the club I was supposed to be meeting such and such at, and this up on the news and things of that nature. Or the highway that I take a lot of times to get to my destination, there's like horrific accidents all the time. And it'd be like, bro, I would have been going to the club, or I would have been coming home from the club, or I would have probably been over to this house and coming, learning to listen to my intuition has always steered me right. So I had to get up on here and be honest with y'all and say, baby, I went against the grain this good year of 2023 when I know better. And I'm tapped in with the Lord, baby. If he say something, I'm like, Spirit told me to sit down. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to this intuition. I'm gonna be still. I'm good on all that. But I went against the grain. I did something for somebody and it ended up fucking me in the long run. When you don't listen to your intuition, you're basically saying, I don't trust myself enough to make the best choice for myself. So I'm going to go against what my spirit and my energy is telling me to do. I don't trust myself. And if you don't trust yourself, then that's a bigger issue. Then you need to be asking yourself, why can I not trust my choices? Why am I making irrational choices? Why am I making self harming choices? Then that's a bigger issue. If you have drowned out your intuition, maybe because people make you feel like you're crazy, maybe because you don't like confrontation, whatever it is, in whatever environment, if you are currently drowning out and ignoring your intuition, ask yourself why. Why don't I trust myself to make the best choice? Why don't I trust that I'm going to have the best interest in myself? What's up? What am I lying about? You know what Mike said, talk to the man in the mirror. I play too much, but for real, a lot of us aren't really in tune with ourselves and we go through life trial and error, stumbling, getting back up, picking ourselves up, stumbling, getting back up, picking ourselves up. And it's cool because those bruises, they are learning lessons. But if you are really tune in to who you are as a person, how you love, how you need to be loved, your triggers, your trauma, your negative attributes, your positive attributes, all of that. If you really like know you and can't nobody come up against you, baby, when you get that gut feeling, I don't care if it's your mama, your dog, your baby brother Joe, when you get that gut feeling, you going to listen to it. I don't care if it's a do not go to work today at 3:30. At 2:50, you gonna go ahead and find a reason to get on and pop out of there. It may seem illogical to other people, but you are so in tune with yourself. You know that you have to listen to whatever your internal antenna is telling you how to move. Baby, because I done been around people a little bit longer than I should have been around. I done had friendships a little longer than I should have had. I knew I done outgrown them. I know my intuition is saying, bitch, you ain't gonna be pissed off. You go around here, then you gonna go back, and then you gonna be mad at yourself that you, and I still do it. And then be annoyed by the unwanted chaos that comes with surrounding myself by those people. Ignore my intuition. Ignore my intuition. Intuition is not a logical thing. It's not a scientific matter. It's just a self-awareness of self and your energy protecting you before some shit even pops off. But if you are unaware of your energy, then you're going to always find yourself in chaotic situations. And you're not going to be tuned in, and you're going to continue to either not hear your gut feeling or drown it out and find yourself around people you shouldn't be around, in situations that you shouldn't be in, and doing things that are against your best interest in the long run. So, what is the real definition of intuition? Let me see. The ability to understand something without the need of conscious reasoning. Boom, it's illogical. I can't tell you why I'm about to make a U turn, sis, and I'm not even gonna make it. But all I can tell you is it's just not sitting right in my spirit. So I'm gonna go home. Y'all be safe. Boom, just like that. Baby, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm about to start my period. I don't know if I'm just having a moment of insecurity. I don't know if this is just something new to me and I'm really interested. I don't know what this is. But my intuition has me feeling this type of way. It can easily be addressed by me vocalizing how I feel and by you reassuring me in whatever way that my intuition is wrong. And if my intuition is wrong, I love you enough, I'm invested in this relationship enough, and I'm mature enough to admit that I'm wrong and continue to sit silent and work on myself to see if I can't tune out my irrational sense of emotion and my real pure intuition. Heightened emotion and intuition are two different things. You can be really, really mad and manipulate your thoughts in a way that will prove you right in your state of madness. And then calm down and be like, bro, I blew that out of proportion. I really did. I really did. Because you made a choice to speak or do something out of heightened emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, depression, or whatever it is. Heightened emotion. That's completely different from being tapped in and tuned in to your true intuition. But it can easily, that's two ways. Friendship or relationship, I just gave you. Two ways to go ahead and express it. Now, I cannot do that for you. I could be wrong, but my heart is telling me if I did this for you, it was going to ultimately make me feel some type of way in the long run or hurt me some type of way in the long run. And I love you, but I love myself more. And just leave it at that. Or don't say nothing at all. No. Your intuition is your internal self setting boundaries from situations before they even happen. Setting boundaries on people with funky energy, draining energy, negative energy before they even have the opportunity to get in your sacred space. That's why it's so important to be in tune with yourself so you won't go against that intuition. You won't go against that gut feeling, whatever you call it. You'll hear the discernment of your soul whispering to you, don't do that. Yes, that's the right choice. A lot of people will have like big life choices. I've made so many bad choices in my career, and I'm blessed to just have a great network of people in the field that I'm in, and they can bail me out if I made a bad choice in the past. But I'm a irrational, illogical person that makes choices off of heightened emotion. Hey, that's why I go to therapy. I know all my diagnoses, baby. But that's for another conversation. So now I went through a period where I was just questioning everything about myself because I know on certain occasions my choices are irrational. And I have to be very conscious of who I am in this moment, what are my emotions, and if it is me manipulating myself or if it's real, genuine, internal intuition telling me what to do. Got to be in tune. You have to be in tune. It's like your own superpower, really. It's like God's superpower of protecting thyself, coping mechanism, right? Because there's some people there. I had a Amy. I have an Amy, and I know some of y'all mama used to be like this too. She could pinpoint anybody. Before, I mean, it could be people my age. So I know she don't really know much about their character. She be like, that ain't no person you want to hang around. That ain't nobody want to date. And baby, she was always right. It may take 6 months, it may take 2 days, it may have taken 4, 5 years for me to finally see what she tried to warn me about years ago. Baby, I would have wished I would have listened to the intuition all the women was trying to give me about one of my baby daddy's child. Had I just not been hard headed and just been in tune when they said you need to be in tune, slow down a little bit, slow down. Don't be a rush to be an adult. Slow down and see what you really want. That slow down was telling me you don't even know what you want because you don't even know who you are. You're a baby. Sit down somewhere. Be around people your own age. Do things with people your own age. Find something else to do. Go to a different environment. Slow down. In that process of me slowing down, had I taken heed to their warning, I would have really grew to learn myself and why I was the way I was, putting myself into dangerous situations or situations that I wasn't mature enough to be in. Then, once I found myself in the situations and environments, I would have scared myself to go the fuck back home. But you live and you learn, child, and I'm blessed for my child. But God dang, if they didn't warn me. But what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is you not crazy. You not crazy. Find confidence with going with your heart. Find confidence with listening to your first mind. Be confident in what that gut feeling and that heart drop and that heightened breath. Listen to your intuition. Let the Holy Spirit guide you. Whatever you want to categorize it as. Find confidence in listening to that. And the more you start listening to your intuition, the better choices that you'll make, the better situations you'll find yourself in because you have confidence that you are going to make the best choices for yourself. And the more confident you are in that, then baby, you just start moving through life. And can't nobody tell you nothing. When that intuition go off and that antenna say boop 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 boop. Uh-uh. Don't be like me. Don't know better. and still don't do better. Do not drown out that intuition. The intuition is just your soul trying to whisper to you, baby, listen to that. That's my time. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you guys for tuning in again to another episode of the Judge Me Not podcast. If you want to keep up with your girl, you can always find me on Facebook and Instagram at EnviiDee. That's EnviiDee. Bye.